So a PPP is not necessarily conducive for big projects or not. We've got a PPP. We had a PPP at Lentegeur. The Western Cape Rehab Centre was a PPP. I mean, there's quite a few other PPPs across the country. They get done for various sorts of reasons as PPPs and not necessarily because of size. The Tygerberg will be, of course, the biggest PPP that I think, well, that we have ever done. And, or I think maybe the Gauteng, it might be the biggest one in the country. It is going to be a massive project. Just to give you an indication, our estimate of the construction is upwards from 5 billion. Provincial Treasury has ring-fenced already close to 1 billion for us, which will mature in 2030. So that would give you an indication of the scale of the project. And the reason we're doing it as a PPP is because of two things: value for money and affordability. So, as I said, we're planning on doing 3 mega projects very close to each other. And as you can imagine, they are quite expensive. So it's difficult to get them to fit onto any national treasury budget. So we went through a feasibility study to see what would be the best way of doing it. And we followed the National Treasury guidelines in terms of PPP Regulation 16. And our feasibility study has indicated that there is value for money and affordability to be had to do this particular project as a PPP. So the way we envisaging to structure it is to procure a private party. The private party will design, construct, finance, and then soft services maintain the building for us over a period of, we envisaging 20 years. So we're planning for that construction to start in 2026, to be completed by 2030, and then to have the private party continue with soft services management of that facility for a period of another 20 years. So that is the high level structure of the PPP. So what that means is that the private party will get their own finance to construct the facility at the cost that I was saying. We foresee that they would finance the project. There would be a capital contribution in terms of the one I mentioned from Provincial Treasury, and then they will recoup their investment over the 20 years through a unitary payment. So the unitary payment will be made available from our operational budget. We've gone through an extensive financial investigation to see how possible that is. And the fact of the matter is that the old Tygerberg Hospital, as great as the building was when it was constructed, and I have to say, I think that it astounds me sometimes, the forward thinking that I noticed in this design when I walk in those underground tunnels at Tygerberg. But that hospital has become very expensive to maintain. And there was a CSRI study done back in early 2000s already saying that the hospital is beyond its life expectancy. And we've been keeping it up and running through a huge maintenance budget. And we have come to the realization that utilizing that maintenance budget, we could rather get a private party to fund and construct a new hospital for us, and then use the money that we would have used for those kind of things to fill up a unitary payment. So there's a feasible financial model that we're looking at. In terms of the progress at the moment, so we have recently achieved A1 approval from National Treasury. That has happened in November of 2020, just end of last year. And we are now in the process of preparing output specifications. So output specifications is a description of what we want the hospital to function like. So this is technical and clinical descriptions of how we want that hospital to function. We are preparing those specifications so that we can go out to market, so that private parties can price it, and then they would create the SPV, and that SPV would be the vehicle that would manage the project and also run the soft services over the period of 20 years. So we have also recently done some market sounding with financial institutions to see what the scope and availability is out there for funds. And it seems very positive. So we are well underway, and we are quite positive about this project.